for Isaac. All game they were selling out basically to stop the run, and you kind of like had to wait to get that crease and to make a big play. What's it like when you kind of know you're going to have to be in one of those dogfights, just waiting for the chance to make a big play?
I mean, all practice, like, they knew they had to start the run, me and Duke, so they had to come out with a game plan and go cover zero across the board, and we just had to find where to get Miller to throw the ball and stuff like that. So we just had to come out there and just keep running the ball until we find the crease.
Wes, if you could just kind of talk about the defense. There was a lot of questions about the defense coming into the season. What does it feel like for the defense to be able to come out there, hold down the team until the offense got on track? What did that mean to you guys tonight?
No, it's a beautiful thing. Every time you get to see the defense come together and just play football, it's always a blessing. It's a beautiful thing. We did a great job communicating. We made some mistakes in the front and back end as a defense. But at the end of the day, like, it's about the next play mentality, So love those guys. Keep going. I love how they fought to the very end.
Miller, where would you say, 2 games in, where would you say you guys are offensively from a continuity standpoint?
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously two very different opponents. I thought Jamie, you did a really good job defensively tonight. They're a really good team. They're an aggressive team, and they emptied the clip defensively in terms of what they threw at us looks-wise. So I give them a ton of credit for what they did. I think, it's always better to learn from wins, and I think that's the most important thing at the end of the day. But we know offensively we definitely got some room to grow, and I think this will be a really good tape for us to learn from.
Isaac, with a game like this, and you haven't probably had very many, but when you get to 6, 7, 8 carries and you haven't been able to really pop anything yet, what's in your mind? Are you frustrated? Are you just looking at defense a little bit, thinking about what you can do different? What's in your mind as you kind of work toward the big one?
I mean, often carries, like, I feel like I needed them carries like the C1 Matt for real, because last game I had 10 carries for 126, so I already knew like they was coming here to play, so I just had to keep that chip on my shoulder and let everybody know who I am.
Well, I was just curious. Clef talked about you were the originator of the heart sack celebration. How did you, I guess, think of that for a sack celebration?
So my mom was killed when I was 5, and I got a twin sister. So it's me, my twin. I got 2 older sisters. It's been us. So every time I get a sack, I throw the heart up because I love my mother and then my 3 sisters. Every time I get a sack, it's for them.
Miller, just what's it like to have a weapon like Isaac in the backfield, and then what's it like to watch him when he's gone, he's breaking away from everybody?
Yeah, I mean, I was talking to him and Duke throughout the game, just being like stay patient, because I mean, you kind of have a feeling as the game goes on, like they're gonna break one at some point, So that was really cool to see kind of come to fruition. I think this was a really good game for them in terms of battling through. I mean, the team as a whole. Them especially, like, battling through some adversity, not maybe popping some in the first half early on in the game, staying patient, trusting it, and then obviously putting the game away on Isaac's run. So those guys are super talented, and I'm super lucky to have the opportunity to play with them.
Miller, if you could just kind of talk about with the struggles that the offense had in the first half, to finally find Chris and get that little slant and him take that to the house and get that game, get the game tied. What did that feel like to kind of finally get that going, and what was the conversations in the offensive side?
It was good. I mean, I felt like we had put together some drives and hadn't necessarily, had the points to show for it. Like I said, they were playing super aggressively defensively. Obviously, they had a new defensive coordinator, so I mean, they played Weaver State, but they hadn't, shown their full Rolodex of coverage and stuff like that. So I give them credit for that plan. I think we felt like we were kind of on the edge of breaking one when you play that aggressively defensively. Like, they're a big place to be had, because if you make one guy miss, it's gone. So, Chris is a phenomenal player, and it's great to be able to throw the ball 8 yards and have him take it 60.
This is for Isaac. What has the process been like to you in terms of welcoming in the transfers that are starting in this offense and just kind of getting used to everybody and even the guys up front on the offensive line, like how they block for you? What has that process been like for you?
I mean, the process for me is like we all communicate. So if they tell me something, I execute. I tell them something, they execute. So it's like us learning back and forth and get to where we know what we can do and as far as the game goes. So I just feel like we just got to come in and put in a show for them, for y'all, for real.
Isaac, it feels like it's happened fast. You didn't play for a few games last year, and then it's just kind of blown up. What is it like, for your family, for your friends, your people around you, to kind of see you go from somebody we weren't talking about at all to somebody that a lot of people are talking about?
I mean, it's a blessing because I knew what I can do. Like, when I first started playing for real, I already knew I had it in me, so I just had to come and show the coaches what I can do and make them believe in me and trust me with the ball in my hands. So, yeah.
Anything else for the guys? Good? All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.